On Sunday, the TWRA responded to a report of a female black bear killed by a vehicle in Sullivan County.
Okay. This is 2 minutes, right? Okay. This is the one that's going online, so I'm going to make sure I do a little bit of an outlook. Yeah. Good morning, West Tennessee. Another quick radar and weather update here, and we're going to do a little bit of forecasting here as well. Here's a quick look out the window. Quiet now, but boy, about 10 minutes ago, it was absolutely pouring in downtown Jackson. That's what these little line segments are ultimately doing. It's quiet right now, but you do have one of those line segments making its way into Chester County and into Henderson, the city of Henderson. So get ready for a downpour. It is on the way. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. But first, let's take a look at the surface and upper level map. I did update this. Again, we've got a negatively tilted trough that's continuing to push this frontal zone basically through western Arkansas now. And again, we're still sandwiched between that and this upper level high pressure that's in northeastern Gulf, the northern Gulf. Again, as we go in a little tighter here, we still have what's left of the overnight storms working through West Tennessee, and that is delaying the atmospheric recovery process. And the longer it sticks around, the better here. But unfortunately, we do expect it to sort of diminish over the next couple of hours here. Here's a look at Storm Tracker 7 Max radar. Some steady, moderate to even pockets of heavy rain working through Carroll County, also northern Benton County, eastern Weakley, and also now starting to make its way. By the way, this is the one that moved through Madison County and Jackson. This is on the way to Lexington. You've got a downpour. Trust me, it is very heavy, along with some frequent thunder and lightning. You've got one more wave back here that's going to continue to weaken in eastern Shelby County as it makes its way into Hardeman County and eventually western Madison County. Here's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. Still an enhanced risk with, again, hatched marks for the 10% probability of tornadoes, especially here as things start to get going a little bit later on this afternoon. Winds will become the dominant factor, especially after about 4 o'clock later tonight, along with some large hail. Here's how Futurecast plays it out. Again, things quiet down by about 9 o'clock. Sunshine starts to break through. Some of our filtered sunshine will be through about lunchtime. We expect our first supercells to develop by about 1 o'clock, and then that activity will rapidly develop into a mess as we go through the afternoon. This is 2 minutes. Okay. I'm going to get right over to this cell. It's not got tornado warning on it yet, but it is rotating, and they think it might become one. So I'm going to get right to that one. Okay. Good morning, West Tennessee. Just a real quick update on radar and on the forecast for the rest of the day. Again, we got a couple minutes here, and I do want to get straight over to the current severe thunderstorm warning that we have down in southern Hardeman County at the moment. In fact, we're going to go in tight here real quick. We got this little Boeing segment here. In fact, right around Michigan City, Mississippi, right here in this neck of the woods. National Weather Service is watching this little feature right here. Notice the red against green. So this storm is rotating just a little bit. It's not producing a tornado, we think, at this point, but it is going to be moving into southern Hardeman County. And I did put some times of arrival on that particular feature here to give you an idea of when this might arrive. This did update just a little bit, so we're talking it's basically just to the south of Grand Junction right now. But Salisbury, if this thing holds together here, it's going to be nearby by about 8:34. Van Buren, if it holds together further, it's probably not going to be in Van Buren. That's going to be a little bit too far north. I've got this a little bit too wide. I need to shrink this down. But Roger Spring is in line to see this particular rotation at 8:20 or 8:40. Walnut, that's on the Mississippi side of things. Essary Springs, if it holds together there, right along the McNary and Hardeman County line, it's going to be about 8:49 for that. So that's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on here in the background. I'll be back anyways to do another update here in about 30 minutes. But if we get a tornado warning before that, we will be going live, and we'll be covering that in its entirety if this gets any tighter than it currently is as it makes its way. It's right along the Mississippi and Tennessee line right now in southern Hardeman County. We're going to keep a close eye on that for you. And we just talked about this. That's the storm that was rotating has now gone tornado warned. It's just to the south of Grand Junction, and it's right along the Tennessee and Mississippi border here. So I'm going to go in a little bit tighter here so we really take a look at this storm in very tight detail here. So we're going to go in just a little bit tighter here. And again, this rotation is south of Grand Junction, but this is going to be a close call for Salisbury and Rogers Spring, both of those locations. So I'm going to go back this up just a little bit, and then we'll give some more communities some time here to show you when this may potentially arrive. So it will arrive in Rogers Spring. It's moving about 35 miles an hour on the last update. Let me make sure they didn't update the speed on this here for me. Again, they've got it going at about 40 miles an hour. So it's probably going to be a little bit faster than what these times are showing us. So probably by about we'll say about 8:40 for Rogers Spring, and in Brownfield, if it holds together there by we'll just chop off about 5 minutes there at 8:42 when that storm arrives. SRA Springs, if it holds together in far southeastern Hardeman County, if it holds together, 8:52. It's probably a little earlier than that, so about 8:46 or so with this rotation. It's looking pretty decent here. I'm going to back up here just a little bit to take a look at the broader view here to show the rest of West Tennessee. Again, we still have a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity. None of this activity is strong, although this has got access to a little bit more instability that's starting to rebuild, and we expected that process to start as early as about 9 o'clock. And so we've already got one storm that's already starting to tap into that. So this one is the one that's currently got the tornado warning on it. It did have a severe thunderstorm, and again, now you can see the inflow notch trying to develop here just south of Grand Junction with a Boeing, the rear front downdraft coming back around on the back southern side of that rotation. So that's what we're seeing here. So Pleasant Hill School, you're in the path of this storm. So that's this nasty situation here. Should this tighten up even further than it currently is. So this is going to be right along and just north of the Tennessee and Mississippi line. And then if we put that on the storm track here, just to give some communities a chance to see when this storm is going to be arriving. It does appear to be tightening up just a little bit further here on the new scan. I think they're doing maybe 2 or 3 minute scans and that's helping us out to see how this storm is going to continue to track right along the line between northern Mississippi and southern, far southern Tennessee. So this is southern Hardeman County tornado warning in effect for this region. Here's some communities. Again, I'm going to redo the timing on this to go out for 40 miles per hour, because right now this is for about 35 miles an hour. So we're just going to redo this here for you real quick here. I'm going to set this up so we're looking at the whole area first here. So we've got a perfect angle here. There we go. So there's our standard angle there. And then I'm going to go in tight again, and we're going to okay, that new scan looks a whole lot better than it did a second ago, but I like that weakening sign there, but we're still going to track it here. It's basically on Pleasant Grove School. It's about 5 minutes or less out right now for that location. So we're going to track this part of the storm off to the northeast at about 35. And we're going to have to back up a little bit further here at 35 or 45 or 40 miles per hour here. So this thing is starting to book here pretty quick here for us. So we're going to, again, track this part of the storm, and then we're going to go 35 miles out. Oh, man, I'm still not far out enough. So I'm going to go out one more step here, and then we're going to clear that out and redo this track so we can give as many communities a heads up as possible on this storm. There we go. So about 35. Unfortunately, in this current path, it would put it in Selmer if it holds together, but right now it's already falling apart, so that's good. I don't think it's going to last that entire polygon, thankfully. But here's the latest times of arrival. So Salisbury pretty much will be there by 8:37. Rogers Springs, if it holds together, at about 8:43. Community of Poor at 8:47. Middleton, if it holds together, again, it'll be more like 8:48. And if it's really holding and sticking together here, it'll be in the Raymer community, either Raymer community to the south at 9:03, or potentially Selmer at 9:06. Again, this is not a confirmed tornado. At this point, it's all radar indicated at this point. Notice our polygon is just a solid red here right now, so it has not been a confirmed tornado by any stretch. Of course, this is just to get your bearings. This is in far southern Hardeman County. This will all stay south of Bolivar. It's going to stay south of Highway 64, but on its current path, if it holds together, it's going to be real close to Selmer, or somewhere between Selmer and Raymer if it holds together. So we're going to back up here just to give you an idea of what's going on area-wide again across West Tennessee. So everyone else, it's just plain old rain still. Heavy rain at times. You got some pockets of very heavy rain just to the south of Camden right now, and the north, just north of Huntington. Some pretty heavy rain there as well, and a good heavy package. This is the one that moved to Jackson earlier, still moving into northern Decatur County, far southern, and Benton County. So again, that's just plain rain, a lot of thunder or lightning, but that never indicates whether a storm is severe or not. A storm can only be considered severe if it's producing 1-inch diameter hail and or 58 or better mile per hour winds, or it's rotating strongly in the lower level of the atmosphere. And that's why National Weather Service is watching this storm particularly. That's in the far southwestern corner of Hardeman County. So this is, again, southeast of Grand Junction. We've got Pleasant Hill School that's in the path of this storm here. In fact, I'm going to see if I can get some more smaller communities here on this view here so that we let as many people know this is on the way as possible. So here we go. So so the Salisbury, it's basically knocking on the door right now. I don't see any additional schools, but we did have the one Pleasant Hill School that's just to the southeast of Salisbury that's in the path of this potential rotation, and then Rogers Springs and Middleton also in the path of this storm as well. So we're going to go ahead and put another track on this, and again we're going to time this out for you here one more time, and again stay with this storm as it continues to work its way off to the east here. Although last couple scans aren't looking nearly as impressive, thankfully. I'm going to stop right about here. And then again, we're going to try to track this out one more time here for you. And again, we're going to track mainly the rotating part of this storm. And that's going off to the northeast at about 35. So I'm going to try to tighten this up as much as I can here for you. And it's somewhere between Selmer and Raymer where that should land. So there you go. So here's the latest times of arrival. It's basically in Salisbury right now, or will be, if it's not there. Remember, the scans are coming in every 2 to 3 minutes. So it's basically in Salisbury right now, if there's something trying to rotate at this point. If you can, I'm going to try to see if they have confirmed anything here. I see they're updating the original severe thunderstorm warning, but I'll go ahead and take a look at what the National Weather Service is talking about to see if we got any new information. Okay, so trimming it up a little bit, but they haven't confirmed anything at this point. Appears to be 2 rotations just north. Okay, 1 just south. Okay, so they went ahead and issued a warning, but it wasn't because they have confirmed anything at this time. But right now, we're going to continue to track this here as it goes off to the northeast here. Over the next few minutes. This tornado warning goes out until, I didn't get the time on that. Tornado warning is issued until, I don't have the time here. So we're going to have to go back into max. I'm sorry. And then see, it looks like 9:50. It's going to go through 9:15. This is southern Hardeman County as the storm continues to sort of make its way off to the east here, just to the east of Grand Junction at this point. And it might include Selmer. I'm going to go ahead and put you in there, the Selmer community in there, just to make sure it's on the. Okay, new scan came in. It looks a little bit more sloppy. There might be 2 different rotations going on here as well. Let me back up here and remove this out of here, and then I'm just going to point out what I'm looking at here specifically. There might be 2 different rotations going on here. So there's one right here, and then there's another one down to the south right here. So there's really 2 of them here that we're tracking now. So this is sort of evolving, and we're just going to stick with this as the National Weather Service appears to be a little bit concerned about the double rotation here. So we do have 2 different things going on here. So let's go ahead and do it this way. We're just going to track both rotations here and go out 35 miles per hour. So I'm going to track both of those rotations out, and we're going to give more communities added into here so that we have as many in there as possible at 35. And it's going 35 miles, or actually, sorry, it's going 40 miles an hour. Let me back up and do that again. It is going 40 miles an hour. We're going to track both rotations off to the northeast here at about 40 miles per hour. So here's a look at some of the communities that are going to be impacted by one or two or either of these rotations. So Van Buren is basically knocking on the door at this point. Rogers Springs is going to be about 8:44. Middleton about 8:49. Community of Lacey at 8:51, Rose Creek at 9:02, Selmer, if it holds together, we hope it doesn't, but if it holds together, it's going to be about 9:06 at current pace at about 40 miles per hour. And again, we're watching sort of 2 rotations. The original one that prompted the warning was this one, but got kind of a mess here, but we may actually have 2 different areas that are trying to spin up into a tornado. Just to the south of Van Buren, Rogers Spring, Pleasant Hill School. It's basically on top of you right now. So if school is still a session in Hardeman County, the kiddos need to be in the hallways with however you do your tornado precautions. It needs to be happening right now. Although we don't have a confirmed tornado at this point, we do have some fairly consistent rotation here just to the south of Van Buren here on this latest scan. Rogers Springs, it might be just to the north. Lacey, I'm a little concerned about the Lacey community right in the middle of that polygon I just drew as well. But we're going to keep an eye on what the National Weather Service is doing to make sure we don't have something confirmed on the ground with this particular rotation here. But right now we're just sort of waiting kind of in a wait mode to see what these new scans are going to do. They're coming in every about 2 to 3 minutes or so, and then that will get everything will sort of update its location. But the whole thing is moving at about 40 miles an hour. In fact, I could probably move it over just a little bit on that new scan. Okay, the new scan that just came in here. Let's go ahead and move this one more time here, and we're going to do this one here. And we're going to go just ahead of this, and we're going to update the times once again here for you. So here we go. So we've got Roger Spring. If this holds together over the next scan here, which appears to be this one right here, looks like the better circulation right now. A little bit closer to Middleburg. Looks like they chopped Mississippi out of that tornado warning, but they're going to maintain it for southern Hardeman County and extreme far western McNairy County. Notice Selmer is not included in the tornado warning yet, but this rotation is moving very quickly, about almost 40 miles per hour, and it's going to be affecting all these communities in the process. So Roger Spring pretty much is knocking on the door right now, or will be there within the next 2 minutes. We're going to get an update here any second. And then Lisbon, the community of Lisbon at 8:48, Middleton at 8:49. We've got the community of Searles at about 8:53, Rose Creek at 9:02. Selmer, if this holds together, it'll be there by about 9:06. But at this time, it's still not a confirmed tornado. We don't know if there's actually a tornado on the ground. We're just seeing strong indications that something is trying to spin up on this storm from National Weather Service radar out of Millington and Memphis. So that's what we're looking at here, and we're just waiting on the new scan to come in. While we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and save this shot here, and then I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and re-rack, and we're going to take a look at all of West Tennessee, and then we'll be back on that storm in just a moment. But here's what's going on right now. So the rest of West Tennessee, it's just plain old rain right now still. We do have some thunder and some pockets of really heavy rain right now. You got one of those just to the north of Parsons along the Decatur and Benton County line, and that's going to be working its way right along I-40. But that's just plain old rain. Hardly any, not a ton of thunder, but a little bit. The strongest cell is clearly the one in Hardeman County. You can see the darker reds clearly there on this particular storm. We got thunder and lightning right now. This whole storm, or this section of the storm, has only produced about 10 lightning strikes in the last 10 minutes. We did just get a new scan here, so we're going to go in tight here and take a look at that. So actually, I'm going to delete that out of here and actually move I'm going to take this one out and then add our track here that we were doing, and it looks like it's going to be still pretty good right now but just to do our due diligence, we'll move it over to the west just a little bit there. So here we go. So we'll go ahead and Mickey, community of Mickey. It looks like it's going to stay just to your north here, but this will continue to make its way through the rest of Hardeman County. It's about halfway through Hardeman County at this point, and we'll continue to work into western McNairy County here shortly. In terms of times of arrival, the Lisbon community, it looks like about 8:51. Middleton by about 8:53 for us. We've got the community of Pocahontas at 8:58. Rose Creek, if this holds together, this is going to be about 9:06 for you. And in Selmer, if it holds, it looks like about 9:10 or so. If this rotation, okay, that new scan came in. Ooh, that's a lot better looking. So notice we lost that really bright green. It looks like it might have shifted a little bit further north, but I'm not really seeing a return flow on the west side of it here with the red on that. But it looks like it might be just directly east of Van Buren. So this thing has been sort of moving around along the eastern side of this line here. I am going to double check again with the National Weather Service again just to see if anything has changed. The polygon color has not changed, indicating this is still a radar indicated tornado at this point, if it is one that's trying to develop here at this point. But at this rate, again, it remains just a radar indicated tornado at this time. I just got an update from National Weather Service on that. So we are watching the rotation. We're going to stick with this and continue to watch each scan. And on this next scan, we'll see sort of the trend here. And I'm probably going to have to move this up just a little bit to get a new position on this where the storm is sort of rotating here. We've got just in a few minutes, we got getting a little update here. So, okay, so we're going to go ahead and update this track just a little bit to be about here. we'll just go with this here because it does look like it moved again here for us. So this is some really weird and weird tracking on how this storm is moving, but this is going to put some more and newer communities in the path of this potential tornado. It is moving about 40 miles per hour, so it is moving very quickly, but this new position is going to put it in this is actually a little bit further north. So these are some communities that haven't been in this. You're not technically in the warning up in Hornsby right now, but it is going to be close based off this current trend of going northward along the line here. So the Hebron community, it's there. It's already there right now, moving off to the northeast. But if this in fact, let me do it that way. Let's go ahead and just track it upwards just a little bit here. And we're going to move this up based off the trend versus what the radar is exactly showing right now. So that I'm going to keep Selmer in there, but it does look like it might actually end up just off to the north of Selmer versus directly through there. This is still not. They did receive. National Weather Service did receive a visual confirmation of rotation. That means they probably caught a wall cloud on this thing, but it's not a confirmed tornado at this time. But there was something rotating on the storm, and it was spotted by a spotter at this point. But at this point, this is not a confirmed tornado. But we do have definitely something trying to spin up here, and it's erratically tracking to the east and northeast here along this line. So what's happening here, just to sort of show you what's going on, I'm going to let me move that. This is why you need two people usually, but we're gonna get it. So there we go. So here's what's happening. So what's happening is the whole line is moving this way, and it should be moving in that neck of the woods. But also remember, along the line, it's moving from southwest to northeast. So it's pushing what was a rotation down on this part of the line northeastward here, and that's why it's tracking a little bit off of what the polygon currently has. So National Weather Service is going to have to make a decision here on extending that tornado warning further east and the north. It might sort of include the southern portion of Chester County on their next warning, along with the rest of McNairy County, should they update this, as I think they're going to have to here shortly. Because right now, yeah, Henderson's in the clear, but the city of Henderson rather is in the clear. But if the current track, if it continues to sort of stair step here each of these scans, we're going to have to add Chester County and the northern half of McNairy County into the tornado warning. So, but we'll see how the National Weather Service ultimately handles that situation. But right now, in terms of timing, it's still moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. That will put it in the Hornsby area about 8:53. Right now we're at 8:49 at the moment. Robertson at 9 o'clock. Selmer at 9:05 now. And again, we're going to get a new scan here very shortly. But we haven't seen a change in color, and the National Weather Service is not confirming this as a tornado. But there was some rotation back here near Michigan City, Mississippi first, and that's been slowly getting pushed northward along the line, while the whole line is sort of pushing down to the southeast. And now the rotations here just to the west of Hebron. At first it looked like it would be keeping on a track like this, but obviously now that track has been adjusting, and that's why I have to keep adjusting this here with time. So we're going to go double check with the National Weather Service again to see if there's any update on their end here for us. Just make sure I'm not missing any actual tornado reportings, and I'm not at this point. So we're just gonna, okay, so we got a new scan, and I'm losing the bright greens, which is a good thing, but we've seen that happen twice now, where the green just went away and then it came right back further north, and I think that's what's going to happen here. So we're just going to preempt it here and just get ahead of it. So I'm going to move the whole map over just a little bit, and it's going to include, if we get a new tornado warning, it's probably going to include southern Chester County, a good chunk of McNairy County, and then I'm going to adjust the track, which again is moving at about 40 miles an hour. It probably is sitting right about where you're going across US Highway 64 at this point. I'm going to save this scene, and then we're going to go in a little tighter here to see if we can catch any more higher resolution data here. I'm going to go ahead and add an extra scene, and we're going to go tight on that one, even tighter than this here. And then so right now, our rotation's probably right along Highway 64, very close or just south of Hornsby right now. But again, remember, these only come in every 2 to 3 minutes, so it's actually it might be already over into the intersection of Hardeman, McNairy in Chester County, so somewhere in that neck of the woods. Well, but National Weather Service has not updated their polygon yet for that, but it might be in the far northwestern portion of McNairy County at this point on this new scan that just come in. But I'm just doing this I'm doing a live analysis of this. No new information from anybody from the National Weather Service. So while we're waiting, let's go ahead and just, because I know there's some heavy rain and thunder elsewhere across West Tennessee. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We're going to stop right here. And again, we've got some pretty heavy rain and thunder just to the north of Parsons right now, in Camden as well. Also a pretty good heavy shower between Clarksburg and Huntington and Yuma. That community, you guys have some very heavy rain and thunder right now. Also to the east of Paris. West of that, notice things are getting quiet, and more importantly, look what's happening. The sun's coming out. So this is visible satellite you're looking at right here. So the sun's out in Arkansas. We don't want to see that either. This is, we still have one little storm that's trying to take advantage of the little bit of instability or atmospheric recovery that's already starting to occur here right before 9 o'clock. But right now, so let's go back down and just take a look at the latest. Again, we've got we're going to need to update the visual here. So this was very close to Pleasant Hill School. I think you're in good shape in Pleasant Hill. If you're in Pleasant Hill School, the rotation has moved away. Middleton, it's to your north right now. If you're looking at Middleton, you might be able to look straight north and see if there's a rotation. Although, look what's coming in behind it. You got to be careful. You got some probably some gusty winds and maybe even some small hail. That's just to the west of Middleton right now. We're still looking north towards Hornsby from Middleton to see if we've got a any kind of confirmation of a tornado on this particular storm. In fact, I'm also checking Facebook. On my Facebook, I'm looking at the particular tornado warning that's going to be on there. If you've got any confirmation or any information for me to pass along to National Weather Service, do let me know. But I'm going to be looking at what should have posted as a tornado warning. If those are working properly, I think I need to take a look at that too. But either way, actually, tell you what, if you post it in my last post with the from the 756 update, I am going to be keeping an eye on that post here to see if we have any additional information to pass along to the National Weather Service that I'm not seeing here. I am going to check the National Weather Service one more time. They are going to see they're expiring the severe thunderstorm warning to the west, and that's okay. I understand that. But let's go back to rotation and the velocity product here. And again, not very tight, but if we're going by trend, this thing is a little further east, probably right along the area where Chester County, far northwestern McNairy, and Hardeman County sort of come together. That's likely where this rotation is. It's basically out of the National Weather Service's polygon, it looks like at this point, but they haven't updated it. So we'll just sort of go and keep the status quo here. This is moving at about 40 miles per hour. So we're going to track it like this. And then that's, if it keeps in its current path, based off of where I think it is right now, and if it keeps on that same path, these are going to be the communities in the path of this potential rotation. Again, it's not particularly ominous at this point. It's still radar indicated at this point. But so the community of Robertson is going to be just to your south or very close. Selmer, technically, this looks like it'll stay just to the north of Selmer here on the northern half of McNairy County. So we've got, if it holds together, Adamsville would be in the path of this 913, but obviously it's going to also have that northerly component, not just the easterly component. Okay, so they are doing something with this polygon here, so we'll see what the update is here in just a second to see if it changes color or not. But also a new scan looking even less organized. So again, this is probably not a tornado that's on the ground right now. That's the wonderful news at this point. But there was some visual confirmation back here around Michigan City, Mississippi, before it made its way into far southwestern Hardeman County. And now, if we still got something, that 64 is in my way here. I'm going to try to go in tight and take a look at that. Let's see if that's another area of rotation. Maybe right there. It's broad, but It is broad, but possibly something right here. That's again right where the three counties sort of come together there between Hornsby and Rose Creek. So somewhere in that neighborhood, it looks like that's where our rotation is still on that latest scan that just came in. Maybe just about to cross over along Highway 64 right into McNairy County out of eastern Hardeman County. That's where this potential tornado is located right now. Let's go ahead and take another look at, okay, they're going to go ahead and keep the warning going, but they haven't extended it any further east at this point. So probably doing like I am, waiting on the next scan to see if there's any tightening up of this rotation, because that's pretty broad right now in its current form. So we'll have to see over the next 2 to 3 minutes here on a new scan if anything gets any more defined than that. But currently we've got no confirmation of a tornado at this point. This is all radar indicated at this point. This thing started spinning, had a visual confirmation of some kind of rotation within the clouds. Obviously, that was probably a wall cloud, or one that was a wall cloud, or was one that was trying to become a wall cloud. That's a possibility as well. But again, right now we're looking right along Highway 64, and that's at the convergence of Chester County, far northwestern McNairy County, and far eastern portions of Hardeman County. That's where this storm is located, or where the rotation is probably located. But also there's been two components that's been going on with this storm. We're going to take another look at that here in just a moment as well. In fact, let's go back to Storm Tracker 7 Max Radar. First, I want to re-rack and just take a look at everything here. And again, we're going to go now, and we're going to save this here. Okay, so we're going to stop everything, and again, we're going to take a look at what's going on across the region. So the only warning that we have on the board right now is the one we're discussing down here. Everything else is just plain old rain with a couple rumbles of thunder and some really heavy rain, especially where we see this orange here just to the east of Huntington. That's over to the community of Dollar, places like that in east and Brewston. That's about where that very heavy rain is falling right now. In addition to that, just north of Parsons, we've got some very heavy rain also falling in northern Decatur County. But again, that's not severe. The only reason you will get a severe thunderstorm warning is because of 1-inch diameter hail or bigger, or winds that are producing at least 58 miles per hour or better. Those are the only two reasons. It's never because of heavy rain or thunder or lightning. I know it's scary and it sounds loud and crazy, but those are not the reasons the National Weather Service will ever issue a severe thunderstorm warning, just to repair. But we're also getting concerned about this. We had a feeling this was going to happen, but unfortunately it's happening faster than I wanted to, and that is the skies are clear like that. We've got full-on wall-to-wall sunshine right now in Jonesboro, Arkansas. That is not what we want to see. This boundary obviously is a lot farther east here. I'll be updating that once we get this warning out of the way. So we're going to go in tight again. Probably need to move this particular scene over just a little bit here so that we're more centered on the storm that may be potentially producing a tornado at this point. We're going to stop right there. So we got a little bit of a notch here just to the south of Hornsby at this point. Polygon has remained the same, no change there. And I'm going to go over to the National Weather Service chat to see what's like to be favorable. Okay, they still feel like this is, right now the environment, by the way, this is, I should point that out. The environment here just to the east, northeast Mississippi and southern McNairy County, you guys haven't had anything come through. So the environment here is supportive of a tornado. So they're going to go ahead and hang on to the warning. That's why they haven't canceled it, even though it doesn't look very impressive right now. The atmosphere will support and can produce a quick spin-up type of tornado situation with this cell. Even though it's not necessarily doing it right now, the environment will support it, especially as it continues to track through McNairy County. So don't be surprised if we're back on here, or they go ahead and extend this warning over. Probably not going to include Chester County, but probably over maybe northern Hardin County, the Boot Hill, maybe the southern part of Henderson County, maybe southern Decatur County. Don't be surprised if you guys go under a tornado warning, because the environment to the south of this storm, again, this is the inflow here. Notice that bright color just showed up here again. Let's tighten it up here. Take a look at that. So the new scan's coming in, and we're starting to see some brightening up again, right along that line again, right here. See, on that new scan. Again, this is just to the southeast of Hornsby. Let's adjust this again to where it's located. Again, it's still right along the Hardin and McNairy County line at this point, and that's why National Weather Service has not canceled this warning. And probably going to get a new tornado warning at this rate, because this rotation is still sort of holding together here. So if it holds together, this is going to be in Masseyville by 9:07, Bethel Springs at 9:10. 40 Forks, the community of 40 Forks, that's in the northern portion of McNairy County. The Leapwood community, 9:20. If this holds together, it's going to be a close call for Morris Chapel, just to the north of Morris Chapel. But if it holds together, 9:26, it's going to be arriving. So you got about 20 minutes. Again, this has not been a confirmed tornado. A new scan looks like it might have just come in again, and it doesn't look this impressive, but it does look like something's still spinning here. And at this point, it's just west or just northwest of Rose Creek at this point. But we're really, again, what we really want to see for any confirmation is a lot brighter green and that bright red right next to each other. We're not really seeing this. So this is a broad and gradual rotation, but the environment to the south of it can and could potentially intensify this particular embedded rotation over the next 20-30 minutes. So National Weather Service is going to go ahead and hold. Notice there's not really a whole lot of lightning. This is looking specifically at the rotation itself. There's only one strike in the last 10 minutes. So there's not a whole lot of lightning at all with this rotation as it continues to make its way through northern McNairy County there. And then by extension, you got State Road 225 all the way down towards Robertson. It's just to the south of that as it continues to work off to the east and northeast. It's going to be a close call, Bethel Springs. Somewhere probably between, I should say, Bethel Springs and 40 Forks. So this is going to probably be somewhere in here as we're tracking the whole line moving east and southeast, but the rotation has been sort of moving along a little bit faster to the north than the line is moving south. So that's why it keeps changing its position overall. So we need to update the track here, and I'm going to go ahead and check on the National Weather Service to see if they're going to just go ahead and let this go or how they're going to handle this here. But this is was originally set to expire. It was set to expire at 9:15, so in about 10 minutes or a little bit 12 minutes here. But we'll see if they reissue new tornado warning. But right now the data doesn't look like it needs to be. But again, the environment that will continue to support the rotation that might be trying to spin up a tornado here in northern McNairy County. So I'm going to put the times over here. Excuse me. And as it continues to work off to the northeast here. Here's your new times of arrival. So we've got Masseyville, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Masseyville at 9:06, 9:10, and Bethel Springs. Again, it's going to be a close one there, 9:10 or 9:13 and 40 Forks. So it's going to be somewhere between there, it looks like. And then up next will be Old Lawton at 9:18, Adamsville, if it holds together, there at 9:23, and then Morris Chapel at 9:26. Again, should this rotation hold, and it's been holding quite well up to this point. And again, the environment to the east is still conducive for tornado development. So while we're waiting on the new scan to come in, we're going to back it on up here and take a look at the the wide scan to show you everything that's going on right now. And the worst thing that's going on right now, well, actually, we're not going to go back that far. I apologize. I still have my my sinuses acting up here, so I have to clear my throat quite a bit. Okay, here we go. So starting to notice some bowing out, not on the tornadic part of the storm, but actually right here to the west and southwest of Parsons. Let's take a look at velocity on that. Make sure we're not starting to get some wind gusts that are going to potentially get us a severe thunderstorm warning there as a result. So we're going to save this scene, and then this area here, we're going to go right up here. This is going to be in the Scotts Hill area. That's where this appears to be bowing out just a little bit here while we're just going to do our due diligence and just take a look at that while I've got you here. Looking at velocity, and we're not really seeing the bright reds there like I would like to see at this point, but I am going to check the storm relative velocity as well. Hi there. Let's go up here. That's going to be crossing the Tennessee River over into, I believe that is Humphreys County or Perry County, one of the two. But there's a little bit of broad rotation there just to the northeast of Parsons at the moment as well. but we'll see what National Weather Service Nashville will do with that weak rotation there. It looks a lot better than the one we're tracking right now, to be honest with you. But the one that we have, only thing we have a visual confirmation, or had a visual confirmation, was back almost, I guess, at about 50, 60 miles back to the west or southwest at this point. That was over near Michigan City, Mississippi, or that was originally what prompted that tornado warning there for us. So I'm going to go ahead and check on National Weather Service again to see what they're thinking here. And reflectivity structure still looks favorable for tornado development. Okay, we read that earlier. Let's see here. We're planning to let the current warning expire. Okay, so they're not planning. It's still unorganized. Okay, so they're not planning to issue a new warning, so that's good news. So that's some encouraging news. So we're not going to, just as I say that, you saw it, didn't you? Just as I say that. So they're going to let the current warnings expire, but just don't be surprised if we're hopping right back on here in about 10, 20 minutes. I'm going to keep watching it here in the background, but we do have a little bit of rotation, still disorganized again. We'd like to see a lot brighter colors here to be a little bit more alarmed, but right now, still be ready to get into that tornado safety spot, which, by the way, of course, is interior room. As many walls between you and the tornado as possible. In fact, here's some of those tornado safety tips. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of these. Thank you, Brad. We got, so just being weather aware, having multiple ways of receiving the warning. Our Storm Team weather app, of course, is one of those. National Weather Service radar. And I believe West Tennessee is in good shape. The Jackson, the repeater is working perfectly fine, so your weather radios will be going off. I do know there are some areas where they're going to have some issues with that in Middle Tennessee and in portions of Alabama. But I think we're in good shape here in Tennessee. But again, vehicles, watch for trees or down power lines where these strong winds are being produced here. Shelters inside a sturdy building in the smallest, most central room that most of the time is a closet, or maybe a closet that's under the staircase. Places like that. Those are going to mobile home, unfortunately, is not a safe spot to be in a tornado. But you gotta protect yourself however you protect yourself should that happen. Let's go back over to Storm Tracker 7 Max radar just to get an update here. Again, we do have just some weak rotation, but the rotation, and notice on this next scan, is going to move out or very close to being out of the current tornado warning box. Because 40 Forks, you are not under a tornado warning right now, nor is Selmer. At this rate, Morris Chapel or Adamsville. Not to say you won't be here in about 10 to 15 minutes should this thing still try to maintain this rotation weak and broad, but it is certainly there in northwestern McNairy County. Get my counties mixed up here. Before they actually cancel that, I'm going to back up and we're just going to take one more look at everything. And again, this is still the main area of rain and what was left of the storms that were over back in Arkansas and Oklahoma. So they're still pushing east. This was supposed to be here all the way back at 2 or 3 o'clock this morning. So this is very late. So the timing has been very suspect on all the guidance as a result. But we do have some very heavy rain basically throughout all of Benton County. You've got some very heavy rain right now. Also into eastern Henderson County, the community of Darden. Also Parsons got some action. We do have a camera in Parsons. Let's go take a look at that. I'll go grab that Parsons camera. We'll take a look. Okay. They're going to replace, so they are going to issue a warning, but they're going to replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning. So get ready, McNairy County, southern Chester, northern Hardin, and also probably southern Decatur and maybe southern Henderson County. You're probably about to go under a severe thunderstorm warning. So just a heads up on that. But thankfully, they're probably going to go severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on that one. So, but right now they're going to drop the tornado warning, but we are still watching that rotation in northern McNairy County at this juncture. So I am going to go grab that Parsons camera. We're going to take a look out the window there and take a look at just what's going on under some of these heavy showers, if I can find it here. But again, very heavy rain, thunder, lightning mainly for most of West Tennessee at this hour. But we do have some areas that are receiving have that little bit of rotation. The original rotation was down all the way down in Michigan. There it is. That's what I want. And we're going to bring that down here, and we're going to take a look out the window in Parsons and just check out how heavy some of that rain is before they finally cancel this warning here. And we will, of course, be going back to regular programming and doing updates on the 30 minutes, every 30 minutes or so. That's what we'll be going back to, I believe. and we'll keep you updated, especially if the Storm Prediction Center updates anything with regard to all that sunshine that's happening back to the west. Okay, so we're going to go out the window here, and Parsons is going to pop here in about 2 seconds, and we'll see just how heavy that rain is in Parsons right now. Okay, well, not too bad, at least at the moment, but this is what's going on in Parsons. We've got the heavy rain, you got the fog on some of the trees here at the moment, but we can see that the heaviest of that rain actually is still arriving there in Parsons at the moment. But we are noting some lightning starting to pick up here. Now, okay, I know I just said lightning never gives you a severe thunderstorm warning, but it can tell us how the storm is behaving. Are you strengthening? Are you weakening? But notice what's happening down here now. We see more lightning. That means the storm is trying to pulse up again. So we're going to go tight here. So Parsons got some heavy rain, but this is not severe. There was a little bit of rotation on that cell there just behind the banner there that's moving over into Perry County at this point. But for here, we're starting to pick up, just notice the lightning count went up to 15. So in this exact same area, again, I'm going to track that rotation one more time here for you to give some more communities some idea of times of arrival once again. So we're going to move this eastward here. We're going to track this area right about here and give you all some times of arrival. So here we go. So this is still moving at about 40 miles an hour. We're going to eventually get a new severe thunderstorm warning here, and it's going to include probably the rest of McNairy County and over into Harding County likely as well. But Bethel Spring 916, we got the community of Purdy at 921, Hickory Flats at 927, Adamsville about 929 here on this particular rotation. But again, it is still broad, not concerning yet, but what I am concerned about is the fact that lightning count's starting to climb, which indicates this is trying to strengthen again as this continues to move to the east-southeast as the line. So again, remember the line is moving this way. Along the line, it's moving this way. So that's why this is probably going to get adjusted again into the border, right on the border of McNairy and Chester counties, and then eventually close to that boot hill of Henderson County and up into the northwest corner of Harding County as well. But we're not seeing intensification on the rotation, but the storm itself does appear to be tapping into something. Our lightning count went up another 3, up to 18 strikes in the last 10 minutes. So that is sort of indicating the storm might be trying to pulse up here just a little bit. So let me go check on the National Weather Service to see what they're going to do. This warning is going to expire in about 1 minute. And then we're going to see if they immediately reissue the new severe thunderstorm warning once that expires. But it is set to expire here at 9:15, I believe it was. So yeah, about 9:15. It was the original. But again, we have not confirmed a tornado at this point, but we've had persistent rotation, and the environment to the southeast of this particular rotation is conducive for a potential tornado to develop. So that's why National Weather Service is sort of sticking with it at this point and hasn't really updated the polygon itself. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they're talking about here. Okay, they just may need to replace with a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible. So, and I think that's probably the right thing to do in this situation. Other than that, we don't have any additional severe thunderstorm warnings anywhere in West Tennessee. So let's back up. Don't like that. We'll just say that. Don't like that at all. All that sunshine, not a good thing. The cold front's away in the western Arkansas still, so we don't. Not like what we like to see there, but that's going to be right behind that boundary, and that's going to gradually push its way into West Tennessee as we go into late morning into the afternoon. Unfortunately, Futurecast has been very correct on clearing things out. But in fact, let's see here. Is that a new scan here? I probably need to update this graphic anyways. So I'm going to back up here, and I'm going to switch cameras here for us, and then I'm going to do this, clear that out, and we're going to reposition this one more time here, and then we're going to save that. Move that over here, and again, here's your times of arrival with this rotation should it hold together in northern McNairy. But again, get ready. Okay, tornado warning has officially expired. Now we're going to see if they're going to issue this severe thunderstorm warning. If you guys want to hold, we'll see if we'll just catch this live here. We're going to see if they're going to they reissue a severe thunderstorm warning for McNairy and Harding counties for this rotation that's potentially gonna could potentially spin up into a tornado at any point. But again, it has been fairly weak up to this point. So we've got Selmer's technically in that box, but it's obviously it's going to be well to your north here at this rate. We love to hear that. We don't want that anywhere near Selmer. Gilchrist at 929, Adamsville at 921. Morse Chapel, if this thing holds together there in northwestern Harding County, it'll be about 935. Savannah is probably going to be to your north at this rate, especially with the current track. So the storm's moving this way, but the individual rotation is moving this way faster than this is moving east. So that's going to probably keep it north of Savannah, but it's going to be a close call for Morse Chapel and we'll say the community of Havana. 949 there, Olive Hill. It's going to be to probably just to your north there as well, but it's going to be close in northern Harding County. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll see what the National Weather Service is doing. I figured if they were going to issue that warning, they would have already done it at this point. Okay. They said they're going to do it, but they haven't done it yet. So we're just kind of waiting on them to reissue that severe thunderstorm warning to replace the current tornado warning that just expired. Again, we've never confirmed a tornado at this point, but there was some visual confirmation of rotation. Ooh, there you go. Look at that. See that red again? Okay, I'll come over to the camera here in just a second. Yeah, take a look at that. Oh, man, that's not what I want to see. Okay, there it is. There's your new severe thunderstorm warning. Kind of weird it went back so far, but there, you notice the box appearing there? That's the new severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, so this area right here, notice on that last scan, starting to tighten up just a little bit. Again, this is directly between 40 Forks and Selmer at this point. But the severe thunderstorm warning is a little bit more broad. It's covering a lot more area. Rose Creek, you got a lot of thunder and lightning. I know it just started. It's starting to pick up a little bit. We're up to, remember, we started at 15 strikes just, 10 minutes ago. Now we're up to 27. So this storm is obviously strengthening, and we're starting to get some brighter red greens against the red here as well. Just to the south of 40 Forks. This is going to be directly between Selmer and 40 Forks. I think we might be seeing this thing trying to spin back up. So we might end up getting another tornado warning here for the northern portions of McNairy County over in Harding County. Talk to my producers here, see how y'all want to handle this. If we don't want to just take a break here and then hop back in if we end up with the tornado warning here, or how you want to go about this. Okay. One more recap. Okay, so your alerts are going off now. You're going to hear your phones go off. It's for the severe thunderstorm warning. That's for basically Hardin and McNairy counties here at this point. So we're going to go re-rack all the way back to the beginning just to show you everybody what's going on. So we still have what's left of the convection that was moving in this morning. It's about 4 hours late, but it's here. And the good thing is this rain is stabilizing the atmosphere a little bit. The only problem is, look at that. Notice what's not there? Clouds. Not any. So it's full-on sunshine between Pocahontas, Jonesboro, Cherry Valley. That's going to be moving eastward into West Tennessee as well. So as much as this is helping us out, it's not going to matter here in about an hour, as we're going to be seeing the atmosphere is probably going to recover pretty quick as we get back into, as we get closer to the afternoon. So again, this activity that's going on here, it's bowing out just a little bit in Decatur County, but we didn't see too terrible of rain on the camera there just a second ago, but that's going to be moving over into Perry County here very shortly. And again, we're still keeping an eye on this A, lightning count that's been picking up in McNairy counties, and B, the rotation that continues to be persistent there in McNairy County, now directly between 40 Forks and northern Selmer. Northern side of Selmer, the community or the city of Selmer at this point. So, but the National Weather Service is going to go with a severe thunderstorm warning. I want to make sure they have the tag for tornado possible on that, and they. I'm just going to make sure they had it. Radar indicates the worst impact rated. Don't see it, but I would imagine they probably do on that severe thunderstorm warning. This is for basically that rotation that continues to be fairly persistent there, and basically just north of Selmer. So just going to play it safe here and keep you at least under a severe thunderstorm warning. So we're going to hop out, take a little bit of a break. I need a breather and a drink. As you can hear, my throat is starting to really dry out here, but we're going to take a break. And should a tornado warning be issued, we are still going to be doing updates every 30 minutes. I believe we're coming up on one of those updates, are we not, Brad? 9:50. Okay, so about 9:58, I'm going to be back either way to do an update on everything for us. But if a tornado warning is issued before we get to that point, hopefully not, but we do have rotation that's been very persistent all the way across Hardeman County and now halfway through McNairy County, just north of Selmer. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We'll be back if a tornado warning is issued in just a bit. Mic check, check, 1, 2, 3. All good? Okay. And he wants me to go long on this one. Gotcha. We'll just explain everything. Uno momento. Your cookie from Sunday is still there. Nah, surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Yep, I'm ready. Well, good morning, West Tennessee. We're doing another update here live, and we've got some heavy rain and thunder now making its way through Hardin County. There is still a severe thunderstorm warning at Hardin County. You got a live view here, and if you missed the shelf cloud, I did post it on social media on my Facebook page. My goodness, that was a wicked shelf cloud. Brought some gusty winds there, and there is a severe thunderstorm warning, so that is for, again, one of two reasons, either large hail. In this case, it was for the wind. And those gusts could be approaching 60 miles per hour in Savannah, in addition to the very heavy rain that's falling there. But looking at the big picture here, again, we're just going to sort of go from the top and go all the way down and take a look at what's going on. Our primary cold front is on the move. It is extending from about Springfield, Missouri, all the way down into southern Texas. And that is going to be arriving here in West Tennessee, probably about midnight tonight. It'll be making a cross through the region. But before it gets here, it's going to interact with this business, and that is not good business, by the way. That is a lot of sun. This is a visible satellite here, so you can already see gravity waves here in southeast Missouri, indicating the atmosphere is already starting to buckle here before the front even gets there. And again, all the sunshine out in northeast Arkansas, so all very bad signs for the rest of the afternoon. That sunshine line is just to the west of, looks like they're updating the severe thunderstorm warning. They're chopping out McNairy County likely. But you can hear the alarm going on behind me. But anyways, we've got sunshine now right at basically between Highway 45 West and the Mississippi River. Sun is out in Union City, Dyersburg, Covington, Memphis. The sun is out. Brownsville, the sun is out. Here in Jackson, we're still pretty clouded over and points east. But we'll go ahead and go in tight here on the new severe thunderstorm warnings. The first one that was issued actually is the one basically covering the southeastern portion. I do have meteorologist Jordan Hubbard here with me now. If you can, so I don't have to run over and adjust things. If you can adjust that down to the south just a little bit so we can get those communities down in the far southern portions of Hardin County there for me. But notice these little bowing segments here. This is where this is that wicked shelf cloud that's coming into, or it's now to the east of Savannah. But if you're over in Olive Hill, watching this on Olive Hill, Big Ivy, or I guess it's pretty much in Austin, the community of Austin there now. Counts, I bet that's a wicked shelf cloud coming through there as well. But lightning, we're up to 21 strikes in just this part of the storm. So that lightning count is climbing. To the east and southeast of this is a very unstable and favorable environment to sort of maintain this at current strength right now, with gusty winds pushing 60 miles per hour there. What's that new warning there, Jordan? Hasn't populated here either. Let me go ahead and look at the velocity. Oh, yeah, we probably better get down there to counts. We got some rotation going on there. A little where the line is sort of buckling out in front of the main line here. That's where we're starting to see a little bit of rotation here. It's just to the south of Savannah here, and then there's a little bit stronger here if we get a zero in and there and just to the west of Counts there. And that's where we have, it's still broad, but that's better looking than the warning we had earlier. And that's just to the west of the community of Counts there, south of Savannah. So the good news is that we'll stay away from the major populated areas, but that is, we've got a lot of folks that live down in Counts as well, down there near the Pickwick Dam down that way. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this particular cell, this part of the cell here, as it continues to work its way to the south. We're going to work its south here just a little bit. Here I'm going to go ahead and I don't believe they didn't tornado warn that, did they?
No, actually what happened is they accidentally issued the same warning twice.
Oh, whoops. Oh, okay, there we go. So that's just, human error happened there. But we do have a little bit of rotation. It's not why the warning particularly was issued, but this thing is bowing out just a little bit, indicating there's probably a damaging straight line wind threat coming into the southern portions of Hardin County. So this is going to be south of Nixon. And if we've, even on the camera, I was watching as that shelf cloud came through Savannah, and there was a little bit of weak rotation, maybe trying to develop a wall cloud. Obviously, it never dropped a tornado, thankfully. But that's what we're probably seeing happen here as well. So there's just a little bit of weak rotation here, basically directly over Counts right now. That's going to continue to work its way off to the east. Of course, this is Lauderdale County in northern Alabama, and I believe Tishomingo County here on the other side of the border here. But this is on our very, very far south county here. Not tornado warned at this point, but it is rotating there at the moment, right along the Tennessee River at this point. So we're going to go and take a look at the latest from the Storm Prediction Center, just so we have it. Again, no additional advancement yet. Not to say it won't happen, especially with all that sun back to the west. The atmosphere is going to recover in a hurry. So won't be shocked to see an upgrade to moderate, but we'll see if that happens or not. Tornado outlook is remaining the same for now. We haven't got a new update. So again, the hatch marks means that there could be EF2 or stronger tornadoes with the cells that do manage to develop. In addition to that, we've got a 30% probability of damaging winds. Don't have hatch marks, so they're not looking at widespread 70 to 80 mile per hour winds, but they're definitely thinking damaging winds will be a big problem, especially once this thing gets lined up into a line and starts advancing through portions of middle Tennessee. In addition to that, once these storms first get going, they're going to be explosive, especially with all that sunshine. What we call the lapse rate is going to be really high. That means the temperature, the rate at which the temperature falls when you go up in the atmosphere is going to be really steep, and that creates big hail. So we're probably talking $half hen egg, possibly even tennis ball size hail in some of the supercells when they first get going. And in terms of timing, that's changing a little bit here. This is an updated version of Futurecast. I'm going to show this on midday and noon here in just a bit as well. But it does have us cleared out, and we know it's going to clear out because we see it doing it already. So we're going to get over to mainly sunny skies here across West Tennessee, which is not good news. Temperature-wise, this is probably a little bit behind on that, but we probably are going to be pushing about 84, possibly 85 degrees at the warmest point of the afternoon, which means more energy to work with. But notice all the way through about 1 o'clock, we're still mainly dry. But watch what happens right at 2 o'clock. Kaboom. Yeah, thunderstorms start to erupt in that zone where we have all the sunshine, and the cold front starts to interact with that instability that's rebuilding. We get thunderstorms that just absolutely erupt just to the west of the Mississippi River on the ridge in northeast Arkansas. And then, but here is the good news on the new model run. Watch this. At 3 o'clock, what's happening? Okay, we still have supercells all over the place, but look what's happening. They line up. They're lining up into a line very quickly. That is what we want to see. We don't want these things by themselves out across West Tennessee as we go through the afternoon. So that shortens that tornado window a lot. So we like to see that. We want to see a line as soon as possible. And that would, now, granted, we're still going to have damaging wind threat, and along that line, we still could have tornadoes as well. And those two can be up to EF2, but we definitely don't want long track supercells that go 200, 300, 400 miles across West Tennessee. We don't want that business. And thankfully, for the moment, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Here we are about 5 o'clock. Notice not only is it a line, but it's already along the Tennessee River. And then by 6 o'clock, it's out. and we're just going to be getting back over to sunshine, but this time it's okay. The cold front will be right behind it, and then that will make its way into West Tennessee as we go into the evening hours here, and that'll clear things out right behind it. We're going to be coming back in about, I believe, 30 minutes with another update, unless we get a tornado warning before then. Yay. thought that's. I think we're going on. Well, how much? Oh, okay. 3 minutes. Okay, 45. Okay, we're just going to show this image right here.
Yeah, another story where we had the wrong date on it and it wasn't happening today, so I drove, wasted.
Well, the good news is round one has finally made its way out of West Tennessee. The bad news is in its wake, the sun is out. And that's going to lead to more fuel as we get into the afternoon. Unfortunately, we expect another round of showers and thunderstorms. Strong to severe storms may develop as early as lunchtime, but definitely by 2 o'clock this afternoon. All hazards are on the table. We'll have another full forecast update coming up on midday.